Good morning. I'm at the Spomer Prairie at Meadowbrook Park in Urbana. It's actually quite close to campus. It's just on the other side of Windsor from the West Urbana neighborhood. And this is July 2nd, so this is somewhere between late spring and early summer in terms of the wildflowers. You'll see the grasses get higher as the season goes on and the wildflowers change. I will not identify the wildflowers, with the exception of one, the one with the fuzzy balls to my right here, is a rattlesnake master. And the only reason why I'll identify that is because it's the name of the annual 5K race that they have at Meadowbrook Park. So if you are a runner, you can come be a rattlesnake master here at Meadowbrook Park. I'm going to walk along for a little bit. This is a restored prairie with the generous support of the Spomer family, hence the name Spomer Prairie. And you can see that it has quite a bit of diversity in wildflowers and in grasses. Illinois is the prairie state, as you know, and it has a large amount of tallgrass prairie. Illinois and Iowa are tops in that category. Tallgrass prairie then extends into bits of all the states that border those two. The tallgrass prairie depends on a set of climatic conditions that obviously change over time for natural reasons and now for human-caused reasons. And Illinois and Iowa are part of a prairie peninsula, a part of the prairie that sticks out farther to the east, that has grown and shrunk. When it's at its larger extents, the prairie here is big enough that it supported bison, and in Indiana, and bison were found as far east as Virginia at one point. And then when the weather conditions are less favorable, it shrinks. That prairie peninsula is essentially shaped by three winds. So cold, relatively dry winds out of the Arctic that move south and then blow east. Warm, wet winds out of the Gulf of Mexico that blow north and then shift east. So you can imagine how those shape sort of a V pointing to the east. And then the third wind is the prevailing wind that comes ultimately off the Pacific Ocean, crosses the Rocky Mountains. In the Rocky Mountains, it dumps its precipitation as rain and snow. And then it slowly picks up precipitation again as it crosses the plain. And so if you think of an arrow pointing to the east, the prevailing wind is the line in the arrow, and then the other two winds make up the sides that define the point. And the Prairie Peninsula then is inside that shape. It is not the only habitat that we have in Illinois, though. You can see, of course, woods over there, and I will talk about the habitats of Illinois in a separate video. But for now, I'd just like you to enjoy the tallgrass prairie. Still relatively early in the season.